The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, so guys, me, really real, villain Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. I mean, hey, the double lock never really, I won't say never. There's certain times, but it's normally not. However, shout out to us for a great preseason call on the Fever winning the Commissioner's Cup title. So, I mean, you give and you take. You live and you learn. You win some, you lose some. We didn't call it the day of, but we called it in the preseason, so I guess that matters for something. Scott's here, Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, plus 320, can't complain. I saw the Fever look really, really good defensively, which was something we didn't expect, but it was a pretty ugly game. Both offenses really didn't do much, but the Fever did slightly more, and I guess that's all that matters. So nice job by the Fever. They get the job done, cash the plus 320 preseason pick, but overall the picks for the episode were not very good. So the game was very ugly. Both teams couldn't score, and you saw a really disgusting game of basketball. But yeah, the Fever kind of coasted. It felt like the game was over pretty quickly.
All right. It just seems like this reoccurring trend of the home team losing the Commissioner's Cup game. All four home teams, by the way, have now lost the Commissioner's Cup game. Every single one. And all of those home teams have gone on to win the title immediately after. So do with that information as you will. But every single team that has done it, the Aces, Liberty, now the Lynx, who was it before them? It was one more that I'm thinking of. I think it was the Sky before them. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else? What's the chat talking about? W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Let's see here. Happy 4th. It is the 4th, isn't it? Or tomorrow.
It's the 3rd, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, Scott.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Wow. You great guy. Great guy there. You threw me off. What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about the SGPN network. Make sure you go over there and get down on every podcast in the SGPN network by subscribing to our feed. Just get it wherever you get your podcast. All right, Scott. We've got a lot of games, a lot of things to talk about, some news that has to come up too. We're going to talk about them in the individual games here. Kicking things off in New York, we have the Los Angeles Sparks going up against the New York Liberty. Liberty are laying 10.5. 170 is the total. And let's start our breaking news here because Odyssey Sims has been waived by the Los Angeles Sparks. And with that, even though they didn't give me long to give up on my Odyssey Sims 6th player of the year, I thought that I was back, Scott. They brought her off the bench. They're getting healthier. We'll talk about that in a second. I thought I was back. No, I'm not back. And Odyssey is once again without a team.
It felt kind of random, didn't it? Because the team stinks anyway.
Yeah. I don't get it, but it wasn't working per se. But then Odyssey went on this like little stretch of a heater where she was averaging at least 13 points for like 4 or 5 games straight, and then she went out with the personal reasons. I don't know. It whatever it is what it is. I'm just going to have to give up on Odyssey Sims experience. It just seems like I'm never going to get the full season joy of watching Odyssey average nearly 20.
Mm-hmm.
However, Julie Alman, back from overseas commitment. Ray Burrell is back from the leg injury that took her out in the first game of the season, Scott. So it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes she plays, what the rotations look like, all of that. For the New York Liberty here, though, Leonie Fibic is back for the Liberty from overseas commitment, playing in Eurobasket. So they do get reinforcements. She said she's fine, maybe a little jet lag, but she's more than likely going to play in this game. Line is now 10. It was 11.5. I mean, I'll start with this. The Liberty still suck defensively.
Yeah.
And I think Leonie helps, but it helps on the perimeter. I don't think it helps inside of the paint. I think they're still going to struggle inside of the paint. I think Leonie probably takes away like a Rikia Jackson in this game. Maybe helps out on some defense on Plum and doesn't let Plum get crazy on the perimeter. But this game for me is going to be down to how good can De'Erica and Azare be inside of the paint? Because the Liberty have been, over the last 4 games, the worst points in the paint's defense since Jacquel Jones has been out. Last 4 games, the absolute worst in the WNBA points in the paint defense. So they're not stopping anything inside. They don't have any bigs, honestly, that can go up and keep up with either the strong athletic forwards around the W. Nyara is good, and she helps out somewhat with the rebounding, but she's just not that strong of a defender enough. And De'Erica Hamby is 3rd in points in the paint scoring in the W, only behind Aaliyah Boston if he's Collier. So I think that this is going to be a pretty big De'Erica game. I think that this team can actually keep up with the Liberty because the Liberty just been so bad defensively that the only question mark that I have is just, are the Sparks going to be bad enough where they give up 100 points and the Liberty give up 80? That's my only issue. So it's confusing. It's probably not the best play, but I'll take the Sparks plus 10.5 just because it's really, really tough for me to take the Liberty right now.
Yeah, I just like the over in the game. I think there's a couple ways to get there. Either the Liberty defense keeps struggling and the Sparks can hold their own, or the Sparks no-show a game and you see the Liberty dominate at home. I think either one is a reasonable outcome. Either way, though, both of those cases would involve an over in the game. So I'll go with the over. For the side, I don't want to lay 10.5 with the Liberty either, but I don't mind the first half in this game. West Coast team traveling east. We know that, once again, with a bad defense, the Liberty have been a good first-half team all season. I don't mind the Liberty first half in this game instead of going with the full game spread. But I do think for the sake of the total, I like the over. It might seem like a high total. I don't know if it actually is. I think you make an argument that the Liberty should, even with the injuries they have, walk into 90 in this game. And with that being the case, I do think this should be a higher scoring game. So give me the over in this one. And for the actual side, give me Liberty first half.
W's in the chat. Vincent said it's his first ever live show. Big fan. Keep the cash flowing. We're on try. And I'll point this out. The Los Angeles Sparks have covered 4 of their last 5 games against the Liberty. Covered 15.5, covered 14, covered 14.5 again. The Liberty did cover 11.5 in Los Angeles last August. And then the Sparks came back and covered 12.5 and even won outright in LA. So the Sparks have been able to keep these games rather close and not let it be a complete blowout. But yeah, I do like the over. I think the over to play. If the Liberty win this game, it's because they outscore the Sparks. I don't think it's because they had some random defensive effort that they haven't had in the past 4 games.
That's how I feel. So I like the over with you.
All right. Player props.
You mentioned Hamby points. That is at 14.5. If you want to throw in the rebounds, 21.5.
Yeah, very good play there. Potential ladder opportunity there with Hamby. And then also add on to that, and I mean, you could parlay it together, but Kelsey Plum assists has been really, really good. She's been over that in 5 of her last 8. And if you look at just as a term as the assister for the team, she has 26 assists to De'Erica Hamby this season. Next highest is Azare Stevens at 19, two matchups that I really, really like in this game. After that, it's Rakia Jackson at 14. So she's been very, very good playing alongside De'Erica, and it makes sense. This is not the first time that her and De'Erica have played together. They played together when they were on Las Vegas. And so they've already had this connection. I think that them taking advantage of it, realizing there's a sore spot here in that Liberty defense, this could be a good play for Kelsey Plum assist as well. So I like that play too.
Yeah, it's at 5.5 plus money. Our numbers historically have been really bad assist-wise against the Liberty, but that was, of course, when she was on a much better team. So I do think that could be an argument, especially if you do like the over. So, yeah, I can get behind that. I do think, though, that Hamby is the best option for the sake of props for this matchup. For the Sparks side, if I was going to make an argument for somebody on the Liberty, I'm trying to think if I'd go with Stewie or if I'd go with somebody else. But I'm looking at Stewie's assists at 3.5. She has had at least 4 assists in 3 of the last 4. And that could be an option there. Sparks do allow a ton of points in general. And we saw Ionescu a bit banged up before the slight break we've had. So I don't mind a Stewie assist at 3.5.
Yeah, when Sabrina's not feeling right, you could tell when she's just, not hooping the same.
Yeah.
I think a Sabrina assist angle would be something that I would look at here because she's not right. Like we can tell she's not right and something's wrong here. And the assists have still been pretty good for her. She's been good with the assist against the Sparks as a whole. We know that Sparks defense. And I think that, hey, you got to still respect her. Even though something's kind of off with her, you still got to respect her enough. And I think that she'll be able to make the right play more times than not. So I like over 4.5 assists for Sabrina here.
I mean, I'm going to ask you, though, for Sabrina's injury, of course, you want to take the under on points. But with this matchup, I'm assuming we're both just not going to do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, no. No way. All right. The Wings got me with trying to play that taking under against them angle, and they still very much left me disappointed. All right. Before we get to anything else? You good? Nothing else, Terrell?
Not really. I was trying to think if I wanted to go for anybody else, but I think I'm fine because it's really tough to take unders when you're looking at two teams that right now don't play any defense. So I'll stick with Hamby and I'll stick with Stewie. I don't mind the Ionescu assist play, though. So a couple options.
All right. If you think you know ball, then you have a chance to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. No rakes. If entries go above the guarantee, then all the extra money will go to the prize pool. So it could even be more money than that. Make sure you get in there and hop into Circa Millions, where you pick 5 teams against the spread in the NFL each week, or Circa Survivor, 1 team on the money line each week, but you can't use them again. Survive all the way to the end. Hey,
Bars.
Yeah. Register over there at Circa Sportsbook in Las Vegas, Nevada. You have to do that. Or you can sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of an SGPN proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and your NFL football futures. They accept customers from a ton of different locations. You can easy deposit using Lightning Fast and get Lightning Fast payouts using cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Next game up, still in the 7 o'clock hour, Scott. We've got the Las Vegas Aces, early game for them, going up against the Indiana Fever. Fever are catching 4.5 at home here. 164.5 is the total. 162.5 is the total. Let's see, Scott, I saw this line. It says it opened up at 3. I saw it all the way down to 1.5 directly after the Fever win against the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final. And now it's up here at 4.5, which leads me to believe that there was some injury news that I did not see. And yes, Caitlin Clark officially ruled out. So I have to say this. What was it? Was it 15 straight games that they beat in the Fever?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, of course, the Fever were still a doormat in the league for a while, so yes, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. Let's not think too hard about this. This is a letdown spot.
So you're going to what?
Yeah, this is a letdown spot. This feels like a letdown spot. This feels like this team went out there without Caitlin Clark, and they did what seemed like the impossible. They conquered Goliath. They conquered the number one team in the league and got the win and looked amazing doing it. On national TV, looked amazing. But the last game I think that was their best shot to beat the Aces. Like they looked really solid for the first half of that last game, and they just let the Aces hang around. Asia Wilson wasn't hitting on all cylinders. She had to squeak over her points prop at the end to get us a cash there. And you're telling me she's going to have one of those games like that again against this team? I don't know. I don't know. I know this Aces team has been questionable at times, but this just seems like a complete letdown spot where this Fever offense just doesn't get going.
Yeah, I like the Aces too in this game. Besides the fact that I think the Aces, when Caitlin is out, are the better team. We saw them celebrating in the locker room.
Oh,
a lot of alcohol involved.
Caitlin shotgunning a beer.
Yeah,
is she 21?
Caitlin, yeah, she was in college for a couple of years.
Okay. Oh, hey, you got to make sure sometimes.
No, but I'm saying it's not like the NBA where you can go directly.
No, you're right.
You have to spend a couple of years in college. So the point is, though, we saw them win $500K. It was a very nice celebration, as you probably should do because you just made $500K and you decided to turn up in the locker room. Now you're turning around immediately without your best player after playing the best defensive game you're probably capable of playing. And now you're against the Aces. It's a bad spot. I get that it's a home game. I understand it. But if you're looking at, I'd say, peak emotional wins, Commissioner's Cup win is probably the number one option there midseason. I'm going to go with the Aces minus 4.5 as well. I think it's a spot where the Aces, even though this team has not been great this season, at least they can score. The Fever couldn't score against the Lynx. They just played a great defensive game. I see some regression in store for that, but give me the Aces minus the 4.5 here. I think that the spread is warranted. I think it's a bad spot for the Fever, and I question with the money they won and the hangover if they'll be looking sharp in this game. I'm going to say no, so I'll go with the Aces minus 4.5.
I'm not going to lie. I did not think that number. Okay, so there is somebody in the chat that's on the Fever. I'm still surprised. I thought more people in the chat would have been on the Fever. I really did. I thought we were going to be fighting for our lives here. But no, everybody agrees. I mean, this is pretty much a classic letdown spot. A classic letdown spot. And it's not just a letdown spot of like, oh, they just played a good team and won. No, they played a good team without their best player, and nobody gave them a chance, and they won.
They didn't just win, by the way. They killed them.
Yeah, they played like arguably their best game of the season. Do it again. Nah, I'm on Aces here. Aces laying 4.5. It doesn't feel good laying 4.5 with Aces, by the way, but I'm sorry. I can't ignore the spot for the Fever, and I have to respect the fact that the Aces are still playing a Fever team whose offense normally is just very, very compromised without Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, this team feels good about Stephanie White. Like this team feels good about playing Stephanie White. If we're being honest.
Okay, so for clarification, are you back in on Stephanie White now?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, well, I mean, the Aces feel good about playing against Stephanie White, if that was confusing.
Okay, Aces, I thought you meant the Fever were... Okay, my bad.
No. The Aces feel good about... Because, they never lost to Stephanie White with the Connecticut Sun.
No, they just killed Connecticut every time.
Yeah, so, like, they feel good about, about how they match up with her teams, and they got the win earlier this season while they were down. I think this is going to be a little bit of a better effort here by the Aces. And again, they've been fighting. The goal for the Aces has been trying to get above 500. Mm-hmm. They've been fighting back to 500 for a minute. Also, watch out for, let's just go ahead and talk about that in player props. Real quick, the total, 162.5. It's gone down a little bit, probably because the Caitlin Clark news. Of course, the total probably goes down.
I'm not taking an over, even though the Fever won their last game without Caitlin. They couldn't score. They were able to win anyway. Now the Fever are
they still went
still
under that team total.
If I'm going for the hangover angle and I'm picking the Aces to dominate, then maybe the Aces have even a decent game defensively, solely based on the Fever just coming out flat.
Mm-hmm.
That could be an option too.
I'll go Aces team total over.
Okay. I think I'll go Fever team total under, but I don't feel amazing about the team total either way.
We've got at home this season, the opponent's team total is 5-3 for the Indiana Fever. So they're giving up 5-3 to their opponent's team total, 2-0 as a home. 2-0 as a home dog. And then for your case, Scott, the Aces actually have held opponents 3-4 to their team total on the road this season. So
I'll actually take that. That's fine. I can take that.
All right.
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's next on? Okay, player props. So shout out to what's my guy's name? Dang. I gotta find him. Okay. Mr. John Lopez. Appreciate Mr. John Lopez for tagging me in Asia's white tee that she wore this weekend. The white tee is the power, Scott.
Yeah.
It's the power. The white tee is the power. And she's a different kind of locked in when she's not thinking about what fit to put on. And you just go out and rock the white tee. I got it on. You got it on.
I like Asia anyway in the game, so we agree on this.
I mean, come on, guys. We didn't plan this. This wasn't planned. It just happened. The white t-shirt's the power. You play her. You play Asia Wilson props. But if she has the white t-shirt on, just go ahead and put the house on it.
So is there anybody else you're tempted by? Well, first of all, what prop do you want to go with? Do you want to go with points and rebounds?
Oh yeah, I play points and rebounds. She had 26 and 18 last game. I think a 25 and 12 game is definitely in the realm of possibility.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Bear Commander is also wearing a white tee in the chat. Hey, in my white tee. Look, now we're spamming white t-shirts in the chat. White t-shirts in the chat, man. All right, what else we got here that has me interested?
Well, I'm going to ask, though, because if we are going with the basically Fever no-show game offensively, does that imply that we're going to be fading Aaliyah Boston again?
I don't know, because the South Carolina get the South Carolina. That? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
A stroke?
Okay.
I don't know.
You good?
Yeah, thought I was having a stroke for a second.
All
right. As I was saying, Aaliyah Boston, the South Carolina Bigs, that's the word I was trying to get out. The South Carolina Bigs here, they be going at each other. Yeah. Like you saw it last game that they were battling. And then, hey, what's up with Aaliyah Boston and getting really chippy recently? I don't remember her doing that when she got into the league.
I kind of like it, though, because we've been calling her passive over the years. It's nice to see her show some type of aggression.
Asia, Nafisa, like she just doesn't care. She wants smoke with everybody.
I respect it, though.
But I do think it's tough. It's tough when your team doesn't consistently know how to get you the ball. And I played her unders in that game, and she ended up going over the PRA, I believe, but under the points prop in that Lynx game. Let me just go back and double check. Yeah, so she had 12, 11, and 6. She ended up going over PRA because, the 6 rebounds and the 11 rebounds and the 6 assists really helped, but she went under the 15.5 points. If there was somewhere I'd play it, I'd probably play it like that. Maybe Aaliyah has something similar where it's like a fringe double-double, but if it's – let me check her number. Is her number at 14.5 or 15.5? 14.5. Yeah, I guess. It felt better feeling that she could have 15 and we could still hit our prop, but I wouldn't mind it. It's probably not my favorite play in the game, but I wouldn't mind it just because they struggle to get her the ball on the inside, like they really, really do. And anything she scores, she does it on her own, getting it off the rim, catching the ball, at the free throw line, and then just going ahead and making a move on her own. But like she never gets established in the post and being able to go to work. And that's how she has the big 20-point, 25-point games, when she can establish herself in the post and just dominate over 80% of the league.
Well, I do want to ask you, though, if we are going to be potentially not fading Boston, we got to fade somebody on this team because we're going with the under. So do you want to go with Natasha at 12.5?
No, I think Kelsey Mitchell is a good fade.
Okay, that's fine.
You're gonna get the full Jackie Young experience and attention here. They're probably gonna throw doubles her way.
Mitchell, by the way, is at 18.5 points.
Yeah. If I had one, it'd probably be Kelsey Mitchell. I could see Kelsey Mitchell having a 3 for 10 day here.
I might consider fading Natasha, but I just want to see quickly her numbers against this team. Okay, so Natasha rebounds have actually been a pretty good fade. She's been really bad rebounding against the Aces. She has had less than 8 rebounds in 3 straight. It's at 7.5, minus 135. She has had 12 plus in each of the last 2 games, though, which is the problem with the situation. But I actually am trying to find an angle to fade here. I see Aries at 10.5 points. She's been going over every time, so I can't really do that. I don't know. I don't really see that much I'm really tempted by. Maybe Natasha for PR, but nah, I don't really see much, to be honest. I don't mind your angle.
I feel like I could play Aerie almost every single day because I just think it's hilarious how she doesn't look for anything but the shot.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is her game. That's why they brought her in.
Yeah. So I could almost play. If you randomly just threw out an Aerie McDonald prop, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not?
The problem is I don't have any default lines on either Lexi or on Sophie, because all I see is 10 plus. They don't have the under, so I can't even go for a fade. So that's just unfortunate, but it is what it is.
All right. Yeah, it's really just about Asia here for me. I don't have to play anything else in this game, just Asia. And I may already, Scott, have some investment in Asia and De'Erica parlay.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there for the people. Seattle Storm. Wait. Pause that. Hold that thought. Well, let's run this back again. Because we got to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, and they're giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to me and Scott in first place. However, if you dethrone us, then you can win the $2 million. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, but if you do, congratulations. By the way, if you win and you are listening to this show, come hit us up. Break us off a little bit too. I mean, why not? Like, finder's fee. There's such thing as a finder's fee. So, like, if you win and you listen to the show, let us know. Break us off a little bit. Or, matter of fact, you ain't even got to break me off, nothing. Just let's go to whatever island, and I'll give you some bets when we get there. All right.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Never mind. What? It's all good. Never mind.
What? I
was going to say, I'm wondering if that was a pause moment, but I wasn't going to say anything.
No.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
What did I say?
I don't know.
What? That is a reach.
I don't know.
That is a reach. What did I say?
You can carry on. It's fine.
Boo.
Break me off a piece? Come on. You're towing a line there. You're towing a line. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You're towing a line.
All right.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay. All right. Game on.
We'll let you know.
No, game on.
Comment section, let us know. But
game on. No, game on. It's okay. Game on. I got you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't slacking. That's all I'm saying. So
I just wanted the people to know that there's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades.
Oh, I know what you're saying. You just could have phrased it differently. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I also want them to know that Underdog is a great place to play Pick'em. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree.
NBA SGPN promo code special pick first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code NBA SGPN. Yep. Rhythm. Hey, Rhythm just dropped WNBA prop, Scott. And you want to know why I thought it was so funny about that? Is because I went immediately to go look. Guess what the first power trend was? You're not going to guess right because there's so many players for you to guess from. But if you do, I'll be so impressed.
Hamby, points and rebounds.
No.
Okay.
Think of somebody that we fade not this year, but previous years all the time. That should make it a lot easier.
I'm actually not sure where you're going with this. Is it a game we talked about already?
No.
Then no. You can just say what it is. It's fine.
Brittany Griner, points and rebounds. Under.
Okay.
Yes. Brittany Griner, points and rebounds under. It's a power trend. Make sure you go over there and check out Power Trends and the WNBA props over there at Rhythm. The WNBA props section is live, as I just showed you. And they have their Power Trends AI detected patterns where Rhythm's models have consistently won and have a high ROI. The Power Trends are telling you that the Brittany Griner under is the play. Also, they're exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data back bets. Get your 7-day free trial over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. What's next?
For the record, by the way, there was one AO in the chat, so I'm not alone here. Here. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Somebody else did also acknowledge it, so there you go.
Okay.
But
all right. That's cool.
Just throwing it out there. I'm not by myself.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
I can't wait to catch you.
It's fine. Right. Okay. That's also a pause. Okay.
The Seattle Storm on the road going to play the Atlanta Dream. The Dream opened up lane 2. It is now Seattle -1.5. 159.5 is the total. We are not expecting to see Ryan Howard play in this game after the nasty fall that she took. And let me just make sure there's nothing else missing here. So many injuries up here. Wow. Lexi Brown is not on the injury report, if that matters to anybody. Ryan is technically still questionable, but I'm almost positive she's not playing. Like, I haven't heard anything that says positive about Ryan Howard playing in this game, but she's technically still questionable. I feel a pretty strong way about this game. I'm curious on how you feel, because I have a definite side.
I wanted to ask you about the tiers here. Are these teams in the same tier, or do you have the Dream one above?
No, I do have them in the same tier.
That's what I thought. I feel like the line's about right. I guess I'm on the Dream.
Okay, all right. Because I feel strongly about the Dream.
I don't really like having the West Coast team with a layoff traveling East Coast. I think it's a bad scheduling spot, at least travel-wise. But, look, the Storm, you could argue, are more consistent than the Dream. The Dream over the years have had a pretty solid home court. And you're looking at the teams record-wise being similar. Dream are slightly better, as they are one game better. But the Dream are 7-2 on the road. They won, at home. They did win the first meeting on the road by 7. Storm are 3 over, but they're also 4-4 on the road. So not a great road team. They're traveling east. The Dream are 7-2 at home. Good enough for me. I'll go Dream, getting plus money in this game.
So the Storm defense really, really hasn't been the best thing since sliced bread, but that's at home. They are actually pretty solid on the road, and that's how they kind of keep themselves in the game, is with the defense on the road, but they can't score. Like, they get on the road and the scoring just stops for them. 77 points per game on the road this season. That's 10th in the WNBA. And this Dream team, they score. The Storm have the same issue with the Liberty, where they can't stop anything inside the paint. That's why you saw Leah Boston a few games ago give them 30, because they couldn't get anything stopped inside of the paint. They couldn't switch. They switched everything, actually, on every single chance they got, and they ended up getting Aaliyah Boston on some players that were smaller than her. She just went to work. I think this is a big Bree Jones game, Scott. I like Bree Jones go over her 13.5 points. I think that she's going to be very, very active here, especially if Ryan Howard doesn't play, and just funneling the offense to the big. That is what Smesco has talked about. We need to play through our big. We need to shoot a bunch of threes. I think they're going to do that. I think even without Ryan Howard, I still like Atlanta. Even if she doesn't play, I still feel like I like Atlanta. I think this Atlanta team is really good. Now, the concern is that Seattle is still 5-3 ATS on the road. They've found ways to constantly get it done. Like we said, we have both of these two teams in the same tier, so this should be a really good game. But I think the Atlanta Dream are just better.
I once again think it's not going to be an easy game either way. I do think with Ryan Howard being out, though, is there somebody you want to target? Is it a Canada assist game? Because historically she's been very good against this team. you want to go for an Alicia
And it's a
Gray
revenge.
points?
It'd be a revenge game too. So
Yeah, Canada has had at least 6 assists in each of the last 2 games against the Storm. She's also had at least 7 assists in each of the last 2 games in general. So I actually don't mind a Canada assist game here at 5.5 minus 110. I'll take the over on that one. I don't mind Alicia Gray points in this game as well. We know that we have to constantly pick between her and Howard, but if Howard doesn't play, suddenly you're in a good spot for Gray to just cook. Look at the last couple games. She had 20 last game against the Storm. She's owned this team. She's had at least 19 points in 3 straight. First meeting of the season, she had 28 points. So I actually like Alicia Gray points here at 18.5, minus 106.
all right. Like I said, I like Bree Jones. I think Bree Jones is a big game. 13.5 points is way too few. She's actually 8th in the WNBA in points in the paint scoring. Seattle, like I said, really, really bad inside the paint. They are 11th in opponents' points in the paint scoring over this entire season. And over the last 4 games, they're dead last, tied for the Liberty. So I think it's Atlanta. Got to trust Atlanta here. I do like the under for the game, though, Scott. But I would play it Seattle team total under because I don't trust Seattle. That's the way I would play it. I wouldn't even play the under. I would just play Seattle's team total under. 80.5. I don't trust Seattle to get 80 points on the road here. Atlanta Dream defense is really good, especially at home. You look at what the Dream have done to the opponent's team total at home, and they are 3-6, aka 6-3 to the under. So really good stuff with the Dream holding their opponents under. This is a high total for the Storm now that the Storm are flipped to the favorite. Getting 80.5 feels like a steal. I'm not gonna lie. So I really like that Storm team total under 80.5 today. If they win this game, it's gonna be a low scoring win for them. However, I hope Ryan Howard out shouldn't affect that. I still like the Storm to go under 80.5. All right. Anything on you on the total?
I think it's under, just for me with Howard being out. I do think that they're going to have to try to adjust some things, but I'll go under. Probably not going to bet it, but I think it's under or pass for me.
Golden State was taking the Storm lunch money. They was. Shout out to my Valkyries. Happened
twice. It wasn't even just one time. It happened twice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm disappointed my Valkyries didn't make the slate here today.
Yeah.
All right. Player props. We talked about Alicia Gray. We talked about
I like Canada assists in this game.
Canada assists. Of course, Gabby PRA is also always a player that you want to go back to, especially because I think she's missed the past couple of games. So add that to the card. And Skylar, points and assists. Really good there. Especially, so the Skylar play, wait and see if Ryan Howard is officially ruled out, because that was probably who would have had the main Skylar, like throwing Ryan Howard's length at Skylar would have thrown her off a little bit. I think she can go to work and go at everybody on the team if Ryan's not playing. So I like it a lot better if Ryan is not playing, but yeah, give me some Skylar Diggins over 23.5 points and assists. All right. That's it there, wrapped up with a bow. Next game up, Washington Mystics on the road, going to play the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx are laying 11.5. I've only seen the number at 11.5. It says 14.5 years where it opened. I've only seen it at 11.5. 155.5 is the total. You've got Suggs Sutton, questionable. I know that. I remember seeing that note come across the board. Let's see if anybody else snuck through here on the injury report. Emily Engstler is not on the injury report with personal reasons, so she's back with the team now. Like I said, Sutton leg questionable here. We've got Carly Samuelson is out for the Minnesota Lynx. That's it. All right. Oh, and Jade Melbourne says she will be playing with that tooth injury, the second time she's shipped that tooth in her career. Have you ever chipped a tooth?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, wow, really? Dang.
Yeah. That was first grade camp. Going,
I'm sorry.
we were racing down a hallway, and somehow we ended up going like three people side by side on a narrow hallway. Somebody tripped, we went flying, and I slammed my face onto the floor.
Jesus Christ.
It was the last day of camp, actually, first grade, and I ended up chipping this one. So, yeah.
Just straight face planting on the floor.
Pretty much. I know that we were racing. I think the two people.
You know how tight I'd have been if my kid comes home the last day of camp with a chipped tooth?
Yeah, my mom was not happy. We went to the dentist immediately.
I'd have been so tight.
I remember the two people next to me ended up like stumbling. I think their feet caught, and then one of them fell in front of my path, and I didn't have enough time. I tripped over them, and I went flying, and my face slammed into the floor. So yeah, I got this tooth.
Well, I'm glad I've never chipped a tooth. Dang.
Yep. First grade.
And Jade has done it twice in like past few years. Pretty bad. All right. Oh man, hey, I saw a documentary about the hockey guys.
Yeah.
And it was a dentist, and he was talking about all the times he had to do they don't have any teeth.
No. A lot of them have basically dentures that they take out, and it's like multiple teeth, and it just covers the entire front of their mouth.
That's if you have never, go look it up. It's like, I don't know what to make it. I think it was like a Sports Center special or something. Like, it's like a dentist. I think every team has a dentist, actually. And the players literally have no teeth in their mouth. I didn't know hockey players didn't have teeth, but like a lot.
It was worse back in the day. They used to play with no helmets.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah, they used to play with no helmets.
Why are we not talking about CTE and hockey players? Are they?
I don't know about nowadays, but I know back in the day, nobody knew what that was. So I'm sure you had a couple people who had it. But no, they used to play with no masks.
Oh, dude, what?
I think the goalies didn't play with masks either. Or at least I think they were the first position to wear masks, but a lot of them didn't. So yeah, it was just a lot of just danger to the face throughout a lot of the early years of hockey. So yeah,
hockey way more brutal of a sport than soccer. If you ask Sean, Stacking the Money Green.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're here. 11.5 links.
Are they pissed off, or do they just potentially no show the game?
So there's multiple reasons to be pissed off here. You're pissed off, one, because you lost to this team last time out on the road, and you didn't have Fee. You had all these turnovers. I was in the building. I watched the Mystics get that win, and it was ugly. It really was. So it's a revenge angle there. You're pissed off about losing the money in the Commissioner's Cup as well. So, like, I could see this getting ugly, but then the Mystics just kind of find themselves in games.
I think we're going to agree here. I'm not picking the Lynx bounce back here. I'm not picking the Lynx to take out some frustrations on this team.
When's the last time the Mystics got destroyed? I have to go look it up. I can't think off the top of my head. When's the last time they got destroyed?
No, they tend to hang in there, which I think they can do in this game as well.
You have to go back to the Atlanta game at home, 89-56. That was June 15th. That's the last time that they got destroyed in a game. And they played some weak teams. Like, they played Dallas twice since then. But, I mean, I know we're not throwing anything at the Aces, but going on the road and in Las Vegas and getting a double-digit win is pretty solid. You got the win against Minnesota. Despite no Nafisa Collier, they're still a really good team. And you got a 1-point game in the revenge game against Atlanta right after that. So, like, how many times are the Mystics not covering this line? Not too often.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really do. I would like the Lynx bounce back here. I really would. But I think it's just too many points. I'm with you. I'm going Mystics plus 11.5.
Yeah, they won the first meeting. It was very low scoring. Maybe you see another under in this game. Who knows? I'm looking at the actual game logs here for the Mystics. They got blown out by the Dream. They got blown out by the Liberty. Both those games were at home, though. So they've actually covered the spread in every road game this season. In fact, I don't think they haven't lost a single road game by more than 9 points.
Really?
Yeah.
Good pull there, Scott.
So I'll go with the Mystics plus the points.
Yeah, I'm with the Mystics. They're a solid team. They really are. They lose this game. They lose it by 7. Oh, what to make of this total at 155.5? It's actually really low.
First meeting was a rock fight. You could argue it's a bad spot for the Lynx anyway.
But what I will say is that the first quarter was on fire.
Yeah.
And then it just completely died.
I think I like the over in the game anyway. It feels too low of a number, but I do think I understand why the number is this low. I just think it's overcorrected.
Yeah, because you got 3-6 on the Mystics to the total, 3-5 on the Lynx. Well, 3-6 on the road for the Mystics for the total, 3-5 at home for the Lynx to the total. 1 + 1 = 2. I understand it, but it is a really low total here.
Yeah.
So I think I would just play Lynx team total under. And I would play Lynx team total under. What's that at? 83.5. I could see a 79-70 type of game. I could. And that would still go under, I guess. So maybe it's not low enough. All right, fine. I'll go under.
I'm trying to think if there's any props I'm tempted by. I see Fee leading score plus 100.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. I'll take the plus money on that for sure.
Yeah. She was really bad in that game, too. I know the whole team no-showed. She was especially bad. She might be pissed off.
She was, and the thing is, she started really good in the first quarter and then couldn't make a shot after that.
That's what I'm saying. So you can argue that even if the team is willing to just move on from that loss that they just had, she might take it personally. I can see Fee having a very solid game.
All right. Let's see. Anything else that is appetizing here?
I see some people asking about Citron at 12.5 points. Or points, threes, whichever.
Points, threes, whatever. I don't mind. I think that they're starting to give her a little bit of respect and guard her a little bit differently, but I don't mind it. She's going to be out there because they are going to use her to throw her at Caleb McBride and Courtney Williams. That's what they did last time. Sidney Johnson was talking about it. He was like, yeah, we're going to throw her on Caleb McBride. We're going to throw her on Courtney Williams, and we're just going to keep giving them something different. And so the offense here for Washington is going to be a lot about moving the ball, just not letting it sticking to one person. So maybe you could get a bunch of random assists here, but they're going to be trying to move the ball, and attack the defense in the best possible situation rather than just give it to Shakira and let her go to work, or just give it to Kiki and let them go to work. It's really about ball movement here for Sidney Johnson's group. And I think that's another reason why they cover the spread is because when he develops a really good game plan for a team, they commit to it and they play it really well and execute during the game. And he makes adjustments at half. And I think Sidney Johnson is actually, despite being 8-9 on the season, I think he's a really good coach. Like, I really do. Yeah, that's it. I don't really have much for this one.
Yeah, same here. I see people asking about potentially fading Sykes. I don't mind it. She has been really bad against the Lynx in the past. She has had less than 15 PA in 3 straight against the Lynx. That could be an option. 24.5, though, it does feel very high for PRA. I think I would be interested in that. She had less than 16 each of the last 2 games, had less than 9 points in 2 straight games. I can get behind that. I think Sykes' PRA does feel pretty high, actually. I'll go under on her PRA.
Ghost Rider said he wasn't understanding the Lynx team total under. Yeah, I mean, I think that they get the win. I just don't think they're going to cover 11.5. And if I don't think they're going to cover 11.5, it's a pretty good chance that their team total goes under for me. And just the Washington defense has been pretty good as well. So
I think some of it's also big picture, where when they lose in the finals last year while also winning the Commissioner's Cup, maybe they're just not going to have that immediate reaction because they know that there's a bigger prize at the end, you know?
Yeah. I can't get I think they just ran into the wrong opponent, man.
Yeah.
This Mrs. team just doesn't give up, and they fight against everybody. So it's just wrong opponent for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Phoenix Mercury on the road, going to play the Dallas Wings. Scott, not gonna lie, I bet this is 7.5.
Okay. Good number.
Yeah, it was before a lot of the injuries.
Yep.
Phoenix is now laying 12.5. 166.5 is the total. Injury report here, and it is a doozy. You've got Arike Agumawale, who is out. You have Sierra McCowan coming back. You have how you pronounce that one girl name? Isolder is back as well, both from overseas commitment. Dejanay Carrington is still out. Maisha Hines-Allen is questionable. And Alyssa Smith got traded.
We know the Wings are terrible. The question is, do you want to lay this on the road with the Mercury? You got a much better number, but
yep. Still lay it. Okay, I mean,
so what's your case?
How good
Besides
is
the
Paige?
Wings being terrible, what's your case?
How good is Paige? Do you think Paige is good? Is Paige good enough to carry a team by herself? I understand that Paige was good enough that she's had, these 20-point games and these moments, and she's had very big moments. But is she good enough to go into a game where she's playing a legit third place? Like, at this point, the Phoenix Mercury are legitimately my third best team in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I could honestly move them into a tier of their own, honestly. And it goes the championship tier, Mercury, and then our playoff tier.
Mm-hmm.
Is she good enough that she could legitimately keep them in this game by herself? Because she doesn't have any help. She doesn't have any help on the defensive side of the ball with Dejanay. She doesn't have any help offensively with Arike out. Like, there's legit no help here. Sierra McCowan,
who they don't even like using that much.
Now, as much as I love my homegirls from the 757, shout out to Isaiah, shout out to JJ, they're still rookies too. So you're telling me 3 rookies are going to carry this team into a relevant game against the third best team in the league right now? And Satu's pissed off still? Yeah, I'm good. Chalk. Wait, no way they're... Oh, man, this team just keeps getting better. I'm going to have to bet this team. Breaking news in the men's NBA. The Denver Nuggets have hired Jared Dudley as lead assistant coach.
Okay. Lead
assistant.
All right. I mean, I don't know if he can coach or not. We're going to find out.
Dude, I mean, this team is going to have a chip on their shoulder.
I mean, I like this team a lot. I missed the boat, though, on their title odds because it went from like 15-1 to 9-1. But they're my biggest winner of the offseason.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll save that for the NBA free agency episode. But they did a great job.
It's so chalk with this game, Scott. I'm sorry. I if you can give me any type of devil on my shoulder for why the Wings keep this close, please let me know.
Yeah, the only argument I would make is if the Mercury just completely no-show the game and they are potentially overlooking them to actual teams. But they're off a loss to the Aces, a game that they could have won, that they fell short in. It is the first game of a Deja Vu Principles game, but there is a massive layoff in between games. They play on Thursday and Monday, which is weird. So I can't even say that it's a look-ahead spot because they play the Wings again with 3-4 days off in between. So I think I'm on the Mercury as well. Even if you think the Wings are going to cover the game, you wouldn't bet the Wings to cover the game because this team stinks. So it's Mercury or pass for me. I don't have much else. Maybe you'd argue the over in the game instead of taking the Wings because that way you leave the door open for the Mercury dropping 90-something on the road to help send the game over the total. But I don't have much else, to be honest.
And I think the actually let me look this up. Oh, no, that's not even going to help either. All right. Yeah. You just got to hope the Wings do their part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably take the Mercury team total over, honestly.
I agree.
This is an all Mercury spot, and it's just if the three rookies lead them to keep this game close, then I tip my hat to them. That's all I can say. If the three rookies keep this game close, even though Paige is really, really good, there's still three rookies that are basically leading this team right now. So if they keep it close, then you got it. Y'all got it. Got it, Marco. All right. Let's see here. Oh, wait. That's what I was doing. I got distracted. Hey. Oh, there we go. Reset the chop. Reset the chop. Oh, man. You could tell we're 90s babies. All right.
Do you have anything for props? I was going to say Thomas a 9.5 assists, so that's been bumped up, rightfully so. Even though she screwed me over last game, I lost by a hook on the last game she played.
Who had the dang? I forgot who on Twitter dropped that really good information about AT assists. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry. If somebody figures it out, give them the credit. But Scott, somebody on Twitter went and pointed out AT's assist, and if you the fact that all of her majority of her assists are going out to 3-point shooters and they're cashing.
Okay.
And so if you're playing a team that has horrible 3-point defense, AT assists looks even better because a lot of her assists are just her kicking out to 3-point shooters, and the 3-point shooters keep hitting. So let's see here. Single seasons, like, there we go. And then let's do 2025. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. So AT to Sammy Whitcomb is the leading assist to 3-point shooter this season with 15 assists to Sammy on 3-point shots. She is first in that category across the league. Second is Chelsea Gray to Jewel Lloyd. Shout out to Jewel Lloyd. Third is Alyssa Thomas again to Laska. And then you have to go back down to 8th, where it's Alyssa Thomas again to MAM, and then Alyssa Thomas to Satu Sabali. And if you want to just go down to 13th, it's Alyssa Thomas to Catherine Westbeld. Like, a lot of her assists are to 3-point shots.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
They're going to collapse the defense. She's going to get out to wide open people. I get that.
So, Wings, notorious bad 3-point defense. It could be a really good day for AT assists here, is what I say all that to say.
It's at 9.5. That's kind of the problem, though. Is they did bump it up knowingly.
Yep. I wonder if she drops triple-double. She's due for one.
Yeah. By the way, if you were curious, just to throw it out there, she had 4 in the first meeting, but you can get a good price on locks of 3s. 1.5's minus 114. 2.5's plus 280.
And the first meeting was AT's first game back after injury.
Yeah.
So
and she's still at 4 in that game. So I don't mind locks 2.5, 3s even, if you want to go for some serious plus money at plus 280.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, what else? Anything? Satu for sure.
Yeah.
What's Satu's prop at? Satu is at 17.5. Yes, higher. I think Kalia Copper is also interesting as well.
Yeah.
I think she's about due. She's got a couple of warm-up games under her belt as well. So I like the Kalia Copper play here. And yeah, that's about it. I don't want to get too deep into it because I think this could get ugly. All right. That's the last game.
Yep.
Time for lock, dog, underdog. So let me just check. Let me double check the Atlanta Dream here. So the Atlanta Dream, they gave up 81 to New York. They did have that, but then they have those great games where they just lock down defensively. So I'm stuck between Seattle, or Aces. See the Seattle team total under or Aces. Yeah, just give me Seattle. Seattle team total under 80.5. I think the Atlanta Dream buck up, play really good defense for a tough team. This is a highly competitive game. Game could go under, but I just trust Seattle not to get to 81 here.
Okay.
This smells like a game that ends in the 70s. Dream also have been one of the best defenses at home this season. Again, 3-6 their opponents are to their team total this season at home, so I like the Storm to go under. And for my dog, was there really any question? What price are you going to give me for Asia Wilson today? I have the white tee on. I hope she has hers on later today as well. I can get her points prop right at our threshold, 25 points at plus 140. That's going to be my dog.
All right. For the lock, thought about going with a potential side, but I might save that actually for later. All right. For my lock, I'm actually going to go with a fade on. I think I'm going to go with a fade on Sykes, actually. I think the PRA is too high at 24.5 at minus 125. She's been really bad historically against the Lynx. She has had less than 18 in each of the last 3 games. She had less than 19 in each of the last 3 games against the Lynx. The Lynx right now ranks second in the league in points allowed against guards, second in the league in points allowed or rebounds allowed against guards, and second in the league in assists per game allowed against guards. So the Lynx do everything well against guards, and I think Sykes is in a bad matchup here. It's a low total. They're getting 12.5. I think that she's going to struggle in this game, so I'll go with Sykes under on her PRA at 24.5, minus 125 as my lock. Mm-hmm. For my dog, I think I'll go with a parlay, actually. I'll take a pretty non-correlated parlay, but I do think that there are 2 plays that I like in the actual slate. I think I am tempted by the aces with the letdown spot. It is tough to ignore the letdown spot for this matchup.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the aces minus the 4.5, and I will also throw in the Hamby PR. I think it's a good matchup against a pretty compromised front court for the Liberty. So give me Hamby over 22.5 PR, parlayed with the aces minus 4.5, plus 281. That's my dog for the show.
All right.
Bear, I see 24.5 on Caesars. Caesars at 24.5.
No wonder he didn't see it. Who uses Caesars?
I do for WNBA. They have some very rogue lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, Caesars does have Sykes PRA at 24.5. So
it's just so funny. I think a majority of people do not have a Caesars account, and it's really funny because they do have some really good lines. I got a Caesars account when it was back when Athletes Unlimited was just getting started, and they were the first to Athletes Unlimited lines. But I think it's funny because I'd never hear anybody talk about Caesars.
They have some really, really good lines for.
They need a rebrand.
WNBA.
They need a rebrand, man. They need a rebrand.
I just clicked to update the lines. It's still 24.5. So yeah, you can get 24.5 PRA on Caesars.
All right, underdog. Okay, we need to hit these. We need to hit this one. It's been a little while. All right. How do we start?
You want to start with Hamby again?
We can.
Okay.
14.5 points just sounds so sweet.
We'll go with that. I don't mind being a little bit bold here. I don't mind locks of 3s at 1.5. You mentioned the, once again, bad 3-point defense and the amount of assists. They don't? Okay. Well, thought it was a fun option.
They only have Sammy at 2.5.
Okay. I'm not going to take that. Okay, you want to go with Canada assists? Alicia Gray points? One of those?
Yeah, we can go Alicia Gray.
Was it 18.5?
Yep.
Okay, we'll go higher on that.
And then we close it out with... We can close it out with... Is there anything? No, I really don't want anything in that Mystics Lynx game. Yeah, we just... AT.
T-shirt Asia.
It's either T-shirt Asia or AT.
We'll go Asia. Why not?
All right. Where is she at? There she goes. Higher. Oh, wait. No, that's Vegas. There we go. All right. A higher 22.5. Wow. Really? All right. Dearica, higher 14.5 points. Asia Wilson, higher 22.5 points. And Alicia Gray, higher 18.5 points. Looks pretty good. South Carolina faithful are going to love that one. And Scott, wait, what? I thought I was boosted. Am I not boosted? No. My boost went away. I was saving it for the show. It must have went away last night. Oh, I didn't notice. I would have just went ahead and put something in last night if I knew it was going away. Wow, that's a waste. All right. 6X, $100 gets $600 over there, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Summer League weekly show? I think we did some last year.
I know Lante is very locked into Summer League stuff. I used to be. I haven't really followed it in a couple of years. I was actually good at gambling on it a couple of years ago. Maybe I'll get back into it. Who knows?
I'm actually about to do a Summer League show for Betting Pros on Monday.
Really? That's cool.
Yep. Me and them doing a little Summer League show. So, I mean, I guess we could pop in here and do some Summer League stuff. Why not? Let's see how the first day goes. If I hit a bet, then yeah, I'll come up here and talk about it.
I'm going to tell you right now, Terrell and Lante will be a lot more knowledgeable in Summer League than I will be. But I'm going to be judging teams solely based on college rosters. Going, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
And it's like, but you have to go for the guy that you're like, oh, I remember you're a good player. You may not be the best player, but you're a really good player. Those are the guys that go off in Summer League.
That's why I remember I was actually good at Summer League a couple of years ago because I was good at finding those niche school people to target. But I haven't tried to do that in years, so we'll see.
Shout out to Matt Coleman. We went to high school in Norfolk around the same time. He was playing for my rival high school, and he went into Summer League and won, I believe, multiple championships with the Sacramento Kings.
I was going to say the Kings are one of the only teams I remember that actually have won multiple Summer League championships.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yep. It was a Norfolk dude that was leading charge there. All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at @reallyraw__. Make sure you give us a follow. And like the video before you get up out of here. If you're on X, it only takes 2 seconds to head over there to YouTube, but like the video. Really appreciate it. Give us a W in the chat. That would be amazing. Give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. I really do appreciate it. It really, really helps us. And if you move on without doing it, you suck. With that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end like this. We are out of here.